This is Captain Clay. We're going to help you navigate the tricky waters of entrepreneurship. Today we're talking about luck. And Thomas Jefferson had an incredible quote about luck. He said, "I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it." How to create your own big breaks. Clay, why don't you jump in on this here?
Well, for our DJ business, we've been called lucky. A lot of people are like, "You guys are lucky. Your business worked. You're lucky. You found a niche you like. You're lucky." We make like 100 calls a day per person, maybe 75 calls a day per person. And if they're on fire, they might schedule 5 things a day. So you ask yourself, as a percentage, how lucky are they? 3 out of 75? 5 out of 75? I mean, as a percentage, they're batting like 7%, 5%. So they're just doing a lot of activity, With my speaking events, I've done a lot of them. But you know what? It's because I've done there's a lot of events I didn't book. There's a lot of things that I almost spoke at them, or almost had, and it didn't happen. And so it's a matter of just getting enough potential deals together so that way you have an opportunity for one to actually work out.
There you go. So in part of creating your own luck, and I know that in the Quick Trip organization, they were really big. I mean, it was book is from Lucky to Smart and how you got started. But one thing you've got here is to contact people of influence daily.
Yeah, and that's a deal where it's kind of weird, but I do is I'm actually writing my to-do list here, and I'll just put the name of somebody that I need to connect with or someone I need to fellowship with. And I try to push myself every day to reach out to one of those people to make a connection. So here's an example. If you're a young entrepreneur right now and you're like, "Dude, I know what I want to do. I want to have a company that makes business cards." I'm making this up, You need to right now reach out to somebody who's successful doing what you want to do. Go on Google, find somebody who's doing what you're doing and say, "I'd like to pay you seriously $500 to spend an afternoon with you to learn how to do what you do." Someone who you're not going to compete with. Or find somebody who has a successful business and see if you can spend an hour with them or 30 minutes with them. And the whole idea is you're reaching out to people that know more about success than you do. And if you'll do that, you'll find their insights, their feedback, their advice will start to shape the way you think. But you have to make sure it's a daily activity. You're reaching out to people that have the ability to coach you through life. I'll just give you an example. For working out, Danny Cahill is the guy I got a chance to meet here recently. And he did the Biggest Loser show. Working with a coach, and you can talk to him. That guy has Danny has unbelievable drive and determination. But when he had people that were holding him accountable to his goals, the guy went from 400 some odd pounds to, I think it was he lost 230 pounds in a very small window of time. And you don't have that kind of success unless you have a coach or a mentor or somebody holding you accountable. Maybe a partner, maybe a spouse. Somebody's got to hold you accountable. But in addition to the accountability, you have to have someone that tells you what to do. Because you can be holding yourself crazy accountable and going to the gym and doing the wrong stuff. You can be doing these shoulder thrust twists. You're like, "What are you doing?" "I'm doing shoulder thrust twists." Well, that's not even a viable exercise, but you're going every day. So you want to make sure you're not doing shoulder thrust twists.
Don't do
pull your thorax.
Well, of course. Next up, build a massive database of humans that you've not yet met.
Basically,
that you have met. I'm sorry.
Every time you meet somebody of influence, just get their name, their phone number, put them in your database, and save them under something you're going to remember, like accountant, or I just sort of by profession. Mentor, investor, accountant, insurance guy, graphic designer, video dude. Save them so you can find them when you need them. But it really helps you to maintain those relationships. It does no good if you meet somebody at an event and then you take their card and you're like, "Hey, great, I'll be in touch," and you don't do it. Every time I meet somebody, I add it to the database. Does that mean you got to spend 10 minutes a day typing them in? Yep, but that's what you have to do. Every time you meet somebody, add them to your database. Because over years, you'll start to have thousands and thousands of people in that database.
There you have it. Take more shots than anyone else in the game.
Michael Jordan, famous for saying that he made the most game-winning shots because he missed the most game-winning shots. All I'm saying is, for my businesses, we've been successful and we've had a lot of success in different eyes and won different awards, but we ultimately only book 5 out of 75 people that we try to reach. So I'm just encouraging you to take 75 shots a day at least, baby. Just get on the phone and get rejected. Go to meetings, get rejected. Do presentations, get rejected. And the more you get rejected, the better you're going to get. The better you get, the more you're going to have tenacity that's builds up, and then eventually you're the kind of person that has so much faith because you learned the hard way how to do it, Now you can teach somebody else to do it and impart with them. You can give them faith. You can kind of transmute it to them and say, hey, broski, I made 100 calls a day for 2 years to figure out this system and it works. So now you're going to do it too because I know it works. You got to be able to say it with some passion. You know, you got to be able to. So meet people you don't know, put those people into your database, and then just fail more often. The most successful people fail the most. Ponder that. The most successful people fail the most. All right.
Wow. So there you have it. If you have any questions, you can always post your questions and comments on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. You can email Clay directly, clay@makeyourlifeepic.com. Clay, 30-second send-off. What do you have for us?
I'm just going to tell you this. Marinate on this, write it down, put it on your mirror. Successful people fail the most. Because if you're in a business right now and you're having some failure, having some setbacks, it just means that you are on the verge of being very successful. Steve Jobs, baby, got fired from Apple. What? Yeah, Google it. Check it out. Watch the story. True. Started his own company, got fired from it, and worked his way back up. So I'm telling you, you can do it. Just go ahead and embrace the fact that rejection and temporary failure is a prerequisite to your success.
We'll see you next time.
You can start living a life of abundance and start pursuing your dreams right now. All you need to do is contrast where you want to be versus where you are. And we're going to teach you the action steps to get there starting right now.